Hello, grade 8s. This is our first lesson on what's called solving equations. And so what solving equations means is you get one of these. Here's an equation. You have to determine what is x, like what is the number that x is supposed to be. So we're going to show you using 3 steps, 3 rules that I say. We always want to get x by itself. And in order to do that, we do the opposite operation. You'll see in just a second. Number 2, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. And thirdly, x must always be positive. So here's what x looks like. This is a positive x. It's a bar that's shaded in. That's positive. This is a negative x. It's an empty bar. This is a positive 1 shaded in. This is a negative 1 shaded in. So negatives are always white and positives are always dark. Okay? So here's what we have. Algebra is all about getting a balance being equal. So whatever's on the left will be equal to what's on the right. Okay, so here's what I have. I have x minus 9 equals negative 5. So I'm going to draw an x and minus 9. This will go on the left side and this will go on the right side of the balance, right? So here's my x. It's going to be positive. And then I have minus 9, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think what I'm going to do from now on, it's a little easier for me. I'll just use circles instead of squares, but I'll make them the same colors. So there's x minus 9 equals negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now what we want to do is get this x by itself. So what I have to do is I have to add something to this side to remove these because x wants to be by itself. How do I remove these? I have to add its opposite. So as I said here, opposite operation means whatever these are, do the opposite. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these positive ones, and that will eventually cancel all of these out. So now I have 0 of these. But remember that rule 2 says whatever you do to one side, do to the other. So I have to add 9 positives on this side so that now that's to be balanced, right? But notice that every time I combine the opposite 0 pair, these cancel out. And so we're left with 1x, which is what I want, equal to 4. Okay? That's the answer. X is 4. Next one, we have minus 4 or negative 4. This looks like a minus x, but I want you to think of this as a negative x. So instead of minus x, negative x. So negative 4, negative x equals 7. So negative 4, negative x equals 7, but that's positive. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, those are your positives. Now, want to get this negative x by itself. So I have to get rid of these. How to do that? I have to add 4 positives onto this side. And of course, that will cancel out these. But if I add 4 positives here, whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So I got to add 4 positives here. Okay, so what I'm left with is this x, which is negative. Negative x is equal to all of this. So I had 7, but I just added 4, so it's 11. Now, the third rule says that x cannot be negative. It must always be positive, right? So all I do is when I see a negative x, I have to make it its opposite, right? To make it positive, I just make it its opposite. But whatever I do to this side, I do to this side. So I have to make this one its opposite too. So there's my answer. So if you have negative x equals 11, you make this its opposite, make that its opposite, and that's our answer. X is negative 11. Okay? Okay, next one. We have 2x plus 8 equals negative 6, so I'm going to draw it first. So 2x, those are positive, shaded them in. 2x plus 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is equal to negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? I want to get these two x's by themselves. I got to get rid of these 8. So in order to do that, I have to add negative 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? And when I add them, they will cancel out. But what I do to one side, I do to the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? If I added 8 negatives over here, I have to add 8 negatives there. So I'm left with, I'll just put it up here, 2x's are equal to a whole bunch of negatives. That looks like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 negatives, negative 14, right? Now remember, we're trying to figure out what 1x is. So if 2x's are equal to this, how much would 1x be equal to? Well, obviously, negative 7. Right? Each one of these x's are equivalent to just negative 7. And that's our answer. I want x negative 7. Okay? This one right here, 9 equals 3x minus 6. So this is the left side. This is the right side. Okay? So now the x is on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's my 9. Here's my 3x. 1, 2, 3. And they're all positive. I'm going very quickly here. This is not take away 6. Think of this as a negative 6. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I want to get these 3 x's by themselves. So what do? Got to get rid of these negative 6's. So I add positives to them. Add the opposite, which cancels them out. Now adding positive 6 to the right, I got to add positive 6 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm left with 3x on this side equal to, well, I had 9, but we just added 6, so we had 15, right? So now 3x's are equal to 15. How much is each x equal to? Well, that would be 5, right? Each x would be equal to 5, and that's our answer. Okay? And lastly, I know I'm going quickly, but you can pause it and rewind it anytime you like. Last one, negative 8. This is, again, not take away negative 4x. Think of that as negative 4x. Okay? So negative 8 on the left side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Negative 4x. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Equals to positive 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In order to get these negative 4x's by themselves, I got to get rid of these negative 8. What do? Add positive 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. First, I'll cancel all these out, right? Because they're all gone. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I added 8 positives here. I got to add 8 there. So we're left with all of these negative 4x's are equal to all of these positives. There were 8, but we just added 8 more, so we're at 16. Now, I don't want to find out what 4 negative x's are. I want to know what 1 negative x is. So 1 negative x, one of these, is equal to how many of these? Well, that would be 4. Now remember, x cannot be negative, must be positive, so I make it positive, and I make this its opposite. Whatever I do here, I got to do here. So if I make this opposite, make that opposite. So there's our answer, final answer. And that is our lesson on solving equations. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something.